try to prepare, like take a sneak peek, like some 5 minutes between the games, but
because they have to keep their laptops and all devices just outside the playing hall.
Okay, so this is what has happened once again. MOVSESIAN, I would say the move like h3 something, trying to be on the safer side, let's say. So it's perhaps not the
sometimes avoid
most
bishop
aggressive.
g4 moves.
Yeah, bishop g7, bishop e3. Castle, say what's interesting, we were shown the clock. It's still 15 minutes for Magnus Carlsen, so he barely used any time here. Queen d2, a7, a6. Well, not sure why would you play this one. Well, I know why would you play this one, because after e5, the move you don't like is not d5, which is probably the strongest move in the position, but de5 with queen's exchange.
Really?
I mean, that's once again that what Magnus. Yeah, that's my guess, that he doesn't want to simplify the position. Therefore, he is going for a6, and after bishop d3, he's already
now d5
playing
is close
e5.
to
So at least
queens.
the queens are not coming off. Yeah, white still can trade on e5, and I don't think white is unhappy. But yeah, d5 happened. Knight went to e7. We've got more moves. Yeah, after knight e7, g4. Playing it in style of Makagonov line in the King's Indian, right? So with the pawn on c4, we would have, I mean, okay, it's a little bit too good for white with pawn on c4, so some extra tempi, but structure-wise, we would have the position from the so-called Makagonov line in the King's Indian. Well, however, this pawn on c2, of course, makes difference because black plays c6 and white has no ability to hold the center. Yeah, because I mean, a move like bishop c4, it's probably just bad, right? Black goes b5 first, then after bishop b3, it's possible to take. You can also go c5.
It's b4, I guess.
A b4 takes knight
e4,
e4. Yeah,
yes.
so many things. Right, so white has to take. B takes. Castles long.
Long side castle.
And Magnus just played d6, d5 after some.
Okay,
some
the
thoughts.
first.
So d4 is the threat. Yeah.
Yeah, but e5 no, pawn is not hanging just because of d4 as we mentioned.
What could be the move for Sergei MOVSESIAN? I think bishop c5
Black already
is.
have some space on the board in the center.
Yeah, no, but d4 is of course a very unpleasant idea, right? So you have to do something about it. And if you take, interestingly enough, if you take, you might be already in a big trouble because
Now
black,
e4
interestingly,
and d4 is coming.
black is threatening both forks, e4 and d4. I mean, I'm not sure actually e4 is a threat because there is some pin on d file, but still, you probably don't take. You probably don't take.
Can white plays here bishop h6?
Bishop h6 is
the
possible,
bishops
right?
And have some play on the king
So
side.
d4, but then I'm not sure where the knight is going. Not sure where the knight is going because after
e2 probably.
knight e2, yeah, and I'm not yet sure how dangerous this attack is. If black even plays a move like queen to c7 protecting e5 and then is hoping for c5 and so on. What's interesting, MOVSESIAN has taken on e5.
Really?
Yeah, so the point being apparently that if Magnus goes d4,
then bishop can
then
go
bishop
somewhere.
c4, and he's making use of this pin. So it turns out Magnus's idea was not to play d4, but to take on e4. Knight e4 was taken. I guess white has white has taken with the bishop, and bishop takes e5. White moves the bishop on g2. That's the.
So what do we
position.
have so far?
Well, I kind of like black's situation in the center, but the knight on e7 is not very good, I'd say. So, well, not easy for black. I mean, if you play a move like bishop e6, you have to watch out for f4, f5 with the pawn sacrifice. Right, so Magnus, I mean, he needs some actions, he needs to create some initiative quickly on the queen side, because white's position is quite strong in terms of that white doesn't really have to attack, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting. He played a really fast d5 move.
Yeah.
And now he's thinking.
So it must have been, well, it could be that he was actually planning to go d4. We also thought like d4 is a good move, yeah. But then after bishop c4, really it turns out that this one is, I mean,
It's
f7
very
is targeted,
unpleasant.
yes, and you cannot take either bishop or knight. And a move like c5, then white probably just moves the bishop away and then moves the knight away.
Yeah,
or something
and also
like that.
f7,
Yeah, f7
black
sometimes
has to
can be
look out.
taken.
We have some couple of moves in
Rook to
the
b8
game.
looks logical, right? Rook to b8, trying to create some threats against the king. MOVSESIAN, as I said, he's not going for an attack because it's then it's a sort of a gamble.
It may take a
yeah?
lot of time. Also, black
Yeah.
has
G4
can't
saying-
play on the queen side.
Yeah, some queen a5 would have been possible. Rook goes to e1, so it's very strict approach. He's planning to play via center. Already keep having threats like bishop c5, bishop h6, maybe bishop d4 is a positional threat, just to swap those bishops and take control over dark squares. I would say I don't really like Magnus's position at the moment. He really needs something to happen. Not even sure what he needs here. Yeah, because bishop, I just realized how unpleasant bishop c5 will be, because you know, like it's a pin there, it's a discovered attack there, and this knight has no moves. The knight has no moves, so you will start defending this knight, getting under more pins. So, well, an unpleasant scenario for Magnus, and it actually makes me think that maybe his d5 was you know, a bit too optimistic, because yeah, the pawn is weak on d6 and everything, but he could have played queen c7 when he's still not attacked on the king side. Then he can protect the pawn with rook d8 apparently. So maybe it was, you know, at the end of the day, maybe it was, yeah, maybe it was a better choice to, let's say, not to be that aggressive. He has played bishop e6, now kind of inviting f4, f5. So that's one option for white, just to play f4 and f5. The other option is to force the trade of these bishops with bishop h6, for example.
Which is pretty nice after all these thicknesses of the dark square.
Yeah, I think bishop g7 is not the option you want to play.
Jack.
Queen d4, then knight a4, knight to c5.
Right.
That's really unpleasant. What I think will happen in case of bishop h6, he might want to sacrifice an exchange. He might want to place a move like...
What about queen b6 move?
Queen b6, actually. Yeah, right, attacking the b2. After b3, already some dark square weaknesses. So, you know, sometimes even moving the bishop simply is an option, just to keep it, trying to state that this bishop is worth more than the rook.
Yeah, of course.
It can be interesting. Can be interesting. So, well, maybe he will find his way out of trouble, but so far we don't really like Magnus's position. Let's check the second board, I guess. Let's check the game between the leaders, Vladimir Fedoseev and Badur Jobava playing. Right, back to Magnus, back to his opponents, a game MOVSESIAN. After bishop e6, I thought really f4, f5 was very tempting. MOVSESIAN, however, went knight a4. Well, actually, makes sense, right? So he
blocks the possibilities of the queen, like queen to come maybe to the
queen
game.
b6 was not.
But I kind of think that it's still blackies who have to play on the queen side, and
So
white should quickly play some move like f4.
Maybe, but I mean, I actually like what this knight on a4 does. I mean, it controls c5, it also stops, protects the b2 square. So now, bishop c5 was not possible because of this, right? The little trick. So therefore, white goes c3, getting seemingly even more control over the dark squares. Rook goes to b5. F4, bishop g7, bishop f1 attacking this rook, and rook goes to a5. Not the very usual maneuver, right?
A4 knight. They start to play really quickly.
Yeah, the knight is in trouble. Queen to c2, c5. I think
c4.
Something has just happened. C5, and then what has happened after this? C4? I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I don't really see it.
But I can see the pawn is on c4.
Yeah, so I think once again we are missing like a couple of moves. We are missing like a couple of moves here with our digital board. Yeah, because MOVSESIAN has 4 minutes, not 2.5, which is reflected on our scoreboard here. So I guess c4 could have been the move. It's like the rook is kind of getting trapped. Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
But itself, c4 looks not very unnatural by white. To open this bishop from g7.
Yeah, but he kind of wants to take on d5 maybe. The pawn is on c4 clearly. Looks like Magnus has taken on a4. I know the king is on c2, so that's absolutely different position, right?
I don't know.
So a lot of stuff has happened.
They
Looks
are
like
playing
Magnus
so
is, yeah, I
fast.
mean, there's been a lot of
Is
moves.
queen gone for white?
No, Magnus is winning.
Oh,
Yeah, but
just
he has
check.
already won, and it's a pity we can't really show what has happened in this game. It's so, I really feel stupid about it. So maybe when the moves will appear later on, we will have to go back to this game and just show what has happened. Because, yeah, Magnus has won quite quickly. So as I said, he has to get his engine running, and he's,
yeah, you know what feeling I
3 in a row.
have when I saw his games? Like, he has normal position, nothing special, but when we go to look other games and come back his games, that means that his opponent does nothing. It's only him who is playing. That's really good ability of him, how he
it
managed
does feel
that.
like he...
The opponent did nothing, and he came rook b5, rook a5, all these changes.
Yeah, smart.
Empty.
And I think, as we promised, we have to check what has
Oh,
happened
yes,
in
let's check
CARLSEN's
this.
game, right? I think the moment we've seen was rook a5. And then MOVSESIAN played queen c2, c5. Yeah, that was the last position we've seen. c4 indeed was played. c4 was the move. And you were absolutely right that opening this bishop was not a good idea.
Yeah.
CARLSEN played rook to b8, and after bishop d2 has simply sacrificed over here, went with a check, and after king c2 it turned out that bishop d7 traps the...
Oh.
Does it trap the queen?
Yes.
Yeah, queen a5, knight c6, then knight is going to d4, it's a disaster.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, the c4 move just...
c4 was a bit too
Yeah,
much,
ruined
or a
everything.
lot too much. So MOVSESIAN played
Oh, we can
queen
see
to
on the
b3.
board Georgian player. I think he just won his game.
Not sure.